Blessings. We, Biblical Awareness, want to welcome you. Yes, you who is watching now. For more updates, subscribe to this YouTube channel and of course, like, follow, and share our Facebook page. Sit back and relax as the message will begin in a few seconds. Okay, good day to all of us, a blessed day to all of us. So, on the two previous weeks, we have learned about the book of Matthew, representing the head of an eagle, and the Messiah King, the facet or the part where Jesus is presented as a Messiah King. And then the second one, we have learned about the book of Mark, representing the head of the ox, the servant leader. Okay, but we have four heads to consider here. We have two more, which is the face of a man and of an eagle. Right now, we're going to talk about the face of the man, which is later, as you know the writer, you will know the writer, you will see what gospel is this. Okay, and who, or should I say, who rendered this gospel? Okay, here's the title: The Son of Man and the Painful Incarnation. Painful incarnation in what sense? We will have that later as we go on. Okay? So, the writer of the book, of course, will be this: Luke. First things first. No one will ever notice the name of Luke in the 12 disciples list. Okay? Just like John Mark, which is probably a second generation disciple. But Luke is more of a third generation, which makes him to be written or addressed by Apostle Paul on Colossians 4:14 as the beloved physician. Okay, and if you're in the Philippines, you will see the St. Luke's Medical Hospital. Probably this is the reason why they have the name of the hospital like that. Okay, so other than being a doctor, Luke is known to be a Gentile. He is not a Jew, he is a Gentile convert into Christianity. Okay, and of course, the address of his book is Theophilus, a Gentile also, probably a high-ranking leader, not a Caesar, but someone who is influential. But yet, the name Theophilus could be a secondary name or a primary name or the name of the person itself, himself, but nonetheless, the idea is simple. Luke is a Gentile delivering the gospel message to another Gentile. Okay, and of course, scholars will tell us, well, you can Google it if you want, that Luke is a meticulous one, a meticulous historian. He loves the chronology of events in detail, especially if he is writing to a higher authority. Okay, so what is the message of the Gospel of Luke? Here we go. The Son of Man. Luke 19 verse 10. Later we will see the verse, but here's the point. Son of Man. Here I will give a clarificatory statement. There is a dispute between the Roman Catholics and the Protestants about the Theotokos. Correct me if I pronounce it wrong, but nonetheless, it is a view about Mary being the bearer of God. That's correct. That makes Jesus the Son of Man, because he became flesh and he was born of the flesh. Okay, but the problem is the focus of the people. Okay, we will have to talk about that on a few more weeks or series rather. But now we will talk about the book of Luke, focusing on Jesus Christ, the Son of Man. Okay, why is this necessary? We will have it here. the central verse, Luke 19 verse 10. Here is Luke 19 verse 10. Okay, I'll just check it if I have it properly. Okay, good. Okay. Excuse me with us. Okay. Here we will read, "For the Son of Man came to seek and save that which was lost." Okay, seek and save. The principle of the Son of Man here is connected and related to the principle of Goel, a kinsman redeemer in the Jewish or Judaistic setting. So you need to be able and willing to be someone to be doing this kinsman redeemer stuff. So here, if you could still remember at Philippians and even in John chapter 1 verse 14, the Word became flesh. When He became flesh, He took the form of a human. Okay, so that made Him the Son of Man. Well, I'm not wondering why He was called the second Adam in the few epistles. Okay, so here we go. What is the purpose of the Son of Man? To seek and save which was lost. Well, we know the story. I will not go through the biographies, but the point is this: a heavenly king coming down to earth on flesh, being a Son of Man, to seek and save the lost, not in glorious attire of a warrior, but on the attire of a servant, just like given on Mark, and also on the form of the one that He is going to save, man, Son of Man. Okay, this validates the rule of offering. So if you could still remember in Leviticus, there should be an offering that is to be given by blood. The Son of Man is going to fulfill it. Okay, so now we will continue. This is the central verse of the book of Luke, and now we will go to the second proof, rather. Okay, the verified certification of everything else in the book of Luke. Okay, I will not go in it by detail, but you can look at it by yourself. Okay, the certain verification. There were so many things that will verify the matters in the book of Luke. Okay, here we go. Here is it. Okay, first, as I said in the beginning of this message, the exactness of the history of the biography of Jesus Christ was given by the book of Luke. Exact chronology, exact detail, and of course that is because he is a Gentile and he is not a Jew, so he needs to be certain of what he is going to report to Theophilus. Okay, if you will read in Luke chapter 1, verse 1 onwards, that is what you will see. Second, the emphasis. In the book of Luke, there's the emphasis of the Holy Spirit at work. No wonder that it is the same as what is done on the book of Acts. So, why does he need to do that? Okay, here in the book of Luke, Jesus was presented as a deity. Everything about humanity is presented as Jesus Christ is being seen in the flow of the biography of Luke. Okay, for example, this is the book where most pseudo-Christian groups get the verses telling that Jesus is only a man and not God. But yes, we will not be avoiding the truth that Jesus was a 100% human, because he was the Son of Man, or he is the Son of Man. So to be a Son of Man, you have to have the flesh and the blood. Okay, of course, and you will need the power of the Holy Spirit. So here, the next thing, probably the last, is the exclusivity of the material. If a scholar, Dr. Van T. Burskik, or anyway, you can just search him on the net. He stated what he discovered on the book of Luke, that if you will combine the exclusive material of the book of Matthew and Mark, combine it, plus the exclusive material of John, meaning the own material, research material, or let's say something like that the writer has by himself, the book of Luke has 50% more exclusive materials than those three Gospels. So, that proves that Luke is a good historian. If you want to see the chronology of events, look at the book of Luke. Okay, but if the book of Luke can show us the historical Jesus, what does it imply for us? Here goes. Holiness took flesh, and love manifest. Okay, on the book of John, by the last week of April, we are going to talk about Jesus as God, the deity. Okay, but here that deity took the flesh, form of a flesh, and died in the form of the flesh, and now, until now, is sitting at the right throne of the Father in full authority. Okay, but nonetheless, the earthly ministry that sacrifices the passion of the flesh of Christ, the human aspect of Jesus Christ, is true and valid. That makes him a perfect sacrifice for us. That makes love manifest. Going down from your high place to your subordinates. I don't know the proper term, but that is love. From here, you go here to save the people from here, to bring them here. That is love. And it took so much pain. We know the story. I will not put so much emphasis on the biography, but we know it. This holy God, which will be dealt in the last week of April, took the form of the flesh, being beaten, being mocked, etc., etc., gave love to all of us until this very day and for the future days to come. Okay, so I hope that will help us to realize how great and deep God's love is. Okay, so blessed day to all of us, and don't forget to pray for our world, the frontliners for this COVID-19 case, the economy of the governments, and of course the people itself to be freed from fear against this virus conquering the world like storm. Okay, now without further ado, I will end it with a thank you for watching, of course, and again, as we have said at the introduction, like, follow, and share our Facebook page and subscribe to this channel for more. Have a blessed day and have a peaceful week or maybe months, especially that we have a different crisis by this time. Keep praying and God bless us all. Thank you.